Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that is due to the fact that I am smack dab in the middle of a speed build video, working on the thaumcraft area and cleaning that up, and I don't want to get into that until that area is a little bit more cleaned up. So we're going to be doing something slightly different today, and kind of taking a break from thaumcraft for a moment. And we are going to be doing some exploration. We're going to go check out these two Divine Journey areas. So I've had the Appalachia spawner running for a little bit, and I'd like to go ahead and make the portal to Skythern, and then from there go ahead and do the portal to Mortem. And that way we can get an upgraded sword, you know, something a little bit better than what we were using, and you know, maybe start looking at that. And then also maybe do some other little miscellaneous stuff, because we do have a lot of miscellaneous stuff, loose ends I'd like to tie up, and some little things like that. And so that's kind of what I'd like to do today, is just take a break from thaumcraft for an episode and do some of that stuff. So anyways, we are going to need to make Appalachia blocks to build the portal to Skythern. So let's go ahead and get 10 of these, and the thing right here, the Twilight Clock. I want that. Oh, and I'm gonna want a safari net, right? Because we're gonna want more fragments, or at least have them. We may get them from mining, we'll see. But let's take a look here. Reusable safari net, and I should actually have some. Oh, I don't actually. Oh wait. These. There we go. There we go. We'll go ahead and just make 2 of those, because we're going to want one with Skythern mobs and one with Mortem mobs. Now, I went ahead and figured out exactly where I want these to go. Right over there is where we're going to put Mortem once we get to that. But let's pop over here. And actually this, let me grab this out of here. This little island right here, I'm going to put the portal to Skythern over here. Okay. So let's go ahead and just clean this up a little bit. Just very, very quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of flatten this out a little bit. Just somewhat. I'll do a bit more when I come through and actually decorate this area out. So we'll do that, and I need to get the rest of the portal areas built. Like, I built the one to Isika. That's been the only one so far. But thing is, we don't have to rush through the building, because there's still so much left to do in this pack that, I mean, we're nowhere near the end of it. So we have plenty of time. Alright, so this portal, let's set this up. Your stomach suddenly gurgles very strangely. We have the Flux Flu. It's just kind of oozing out of us at the moment, which is no fun. I've been getting some really bad thaumcraft effects here lately. So I had the light one earlier, where everything becomes like super ultraviolet, and yeah, I had to deal with that. Okay, so we're gonna put the portal down just right here. And let me clip off that. There we go, and we'll just go ahead and light this. Quacha! Okay, so we have the portal to Skythern now. And let's head on in. Okay, so we are in Skythern. It actually spawned us kind of in an interesting place here. Let's go ahead and open this up. And let's grab our reusable safari net. It's actually been a little while since we spent much time in Divine RPG place. Alright, so we got Skythern golems. And there actually is one other dimension within Divine RPG, and that's the dungeon. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've been in there, but if I recall correctly, the dungeon, you get into that a bit later. Like, once you're in, like, I think it's is it witchery, I think, or something like that. Okay. So we are looking for Skythorn souls. That right there. Because I want to get everything laid out. And we've also got fragments. Let's go ahead and grab that. Okay. And I can't remember. I've got a... Okay, I don't have a portable crafting table on this pack. I get all my packs mixed up all the time, so... Alright, let's see if we can find... I guess we'll find the ore first. See if we can find that. There's Twilight Stone. Lots and lots of Twilight Stone. Okay, here we go. Skythorn ore. Let's go ahead and grab that. That's going to give us some fragments, as per standard. And keep in mind that each of these dimensions, like, they get progressively harder and harder to find the ore, so... Alright, come here, you Skythorn fiend. These things make such creeping sounds. See, there are a few mobs that aren't retextures. A lot of them are just retextures, but a lot of them aren't. Or a few of them aren't, I should say. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just snag all this ore that I can find, because we're going to need a fair few of these fragments. I've got to figure out what creature I want to capture. Those fiends aren't too bad. But it looks like they actually didn't drop any souls, I don't think. I think we had 8 already. I can't remember, does Skythorn have a Cadillion? Because most of the stuff I have Cadillions... And I need to get the Safari Net sorted, because I'm actually at the point where I'm having to like kind of dig through stuff to find things. Oh, what do we got here? Skythorn Archer. That guy wasn't too bad either. He dropped quite a bit of souls. We might consider doing a Skythorn Archer. We shall say... Oh, what do we got here? Some mechs. They're like two-headed creatures. These guys are kind of nifty. We might do these, I don't know. I'm not sure. Not really seeing any Cadillions. Normally, Cadillions are like everywhere when they're in a zone. So there may not be Cadillions, and I don't see bunnies either. I actually don't see a whole lot of mobs, period. Like, truth be told. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be mining, too. We're getting a fair amount of those fragments, though. But I've got to set the drawers for chunks and the other thing. The chunks and gems. So, I do need a fair few of these. Because we need a couple stacks just to get the portal to Mortem. And I'll tell you what, actually while we're here, let's go ahead and grab a bit of Twilight Stone. And we can send that back. Because we're probably getting a somewhat low at the moment, because I need to just actually run a quarry through. I need to do that through Icica. That was my intention, because we're using the frozen logs and the Twilight, or the frozen stone. So I'll try to remember to do that between episodes, because we could benefit from a good boost in those things. We got a blue slime here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the archer. I think I've decided. I'm not really seeing any other mobs. Like, it was the golems and... Oh, wait, here we go. We have a mystic. There we go. It's another new mob. More golems, more mystics. We got Skythorn logs. There we go. Okay, I got an archer. That is what we're going to use, Skythorn Archer. So we'll of course put that into a spawner so that we can spawn Skythorn mobs with that. Okay, so I'm going to try to find just a little bit more mining. Just so we kind of pad out the fragments, because we've only got a stack and a half. Of course, the souls, they're going to turn into fragments. And I think we have, what, 30 of those? Yeah, 30 of those. So, I mean, that's a half stack. of those, basically. Or a half stack of fragments right there, but... honestly, going through and mining these, it's not too bad. Once you have, like, flight and stuff, like, it's pretty simple. Okay, so we've got almost 5 stacks, plus we got 30 souls. I think that's good. But there is one thing that's kind of an issue. I did not set a waypoint marker. So, yeah. I'm terrible about that. When I go into a new zone, I'm just like, let's go. And totally forget to put in a waypoint. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the footage and see where my XY coordinates were, or XZ coordinates were when we first spawned in. And use that to find my way back. So that's one of the benefits of recording right there, is I can always go back and see where I was. So I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so we were at 948, negative 330. So off in this direction, I'm actually just going to go down here. And it was like wide, 92-ish. Okay, I think it's like down in here somewhere. Right here. Haha. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this so we don't run into that issue again. Home. There we go. Okay. And let's pop on back through. I think we're all set. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up here, and I guess we're going to switch this over to... let's see. Start producing Skythorn stuff. Go ahead and start making that. We'll just put the Appalachia up. Okay. And I actually think over the next few episodes or so, I'm going to spend a bit of time organizing those and filling them out. So, I do believe. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up a couple recipes first. I think that's first and foremost the thing that we need to do. Go ahead and make me like 20 more blank patterns. Okay, so we're going to say that if you take a Skythorn soul, that you're going to get a Skythorn fragment. And then if you take Skythorn fragments and... let's see. Let me actually just pull it up here. Skythorn gem. Okay, it's like that. That's how you make a Skythorn gem. And we'll go ahead and just grab one of those. And then if you take Skythorn gems, you'll get a Skythorn chunk. And I'm just going to order that in a moment. And we'll just drop these into wherever there's some free space. Right here looks good. There we go. And then, let's see, the fragments are stored on the next floor down, where I've got them all sorted. I do apologize about the FPS in this area, because, oh, it's actually the bottom floor. This area has, like, the worst FPS. It's really the only place that is really suffering any kind of FPS drops so far. It's just right around here, and that's just because there's so many storage drawers, so much going on here. Honestly, it's a little bit overkill with storage drawers, but that's okay. I like storage drawers, what can I say? Okay, so let's order ourselves, not Sly, Sky. Give me one Skythorn chunk, just so I could set the filters for it. So we've got all that in place. Oh, and Skythorn dirt. So Skythorn chunk right there, and then Skythorn dirt. We'll just pop that right into there. Okay. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and get our Skythorn fragments. And let's make ourselves 10 portal blocks. And you know what? Okay, it did complete it. Okay, so this quest right here, Scary Pure Lands, they're going to give us a Bedrock Sword. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and claim that. Also, we do have a quest here. I forgot that we completed this last episode. Customize your sails. Make a sail workbench. They're going to give us a cartographer. So, oops. Okay. So, Bedrock Sword is sharpness 5, unbreaking 3 on it. Okay, but it's only 14 melee damage. This is 29. And I believe the Skythorn Sword is 31. Okay. 2,000 uses. Alright. So I'm just going to drop that in there. And let's go make our portal to Mortem. Our portal to Mortem. Mortem, whatever. So I'm going to put this portal right over here. So it's actually kind of close because I have a cool idea for the portal to Mortem. And I kind of want it over near the thaumcraft, the Scholar District. If you notice, the Scholar District is kind of like an important build. I want to start working on the exterior of this a little bit as well soon. Very, very soon. So many things I want to do on here. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to put the portal down right here. So we'll just do Skythorn blocks. Pow, pow, and pow. Give me this back. That. Okay. And then, there we go. So there is our portal to Mortem. Portal to Mortem. And this is, I guess, technically the last main dimension. There's also that, actually I think the Twilight Clock says, Dark Another Day achievements. Enter the Mortem Dimension. I love this dimension because look at these trees. I absolutely love the Mortem vegetation. Love it. Like the demon brambles. They do damage to you. Speaking of, can we actually... not with that. What about with like shears with Silk Touch? Aha! Yes, we can. We can get demon brambles. Awesome. Because I'm going to want to use those with the build. Even though they damage you, I'm going to have a little area there with demon brambles. And we also have eye plants and mortem grass. But I love these. I want to use these as hedges, I do believe. I've got to pull them out and see what they look like in the overworld. Let's actually grab like one of these. No, got to use Silk Touch. There we go. Okay. I want to kind of see what they look like in the overworld, but I think I want to use these as some hedges because they kind of look like they have like flowers on them. Of course, the chisel adds the it's hedge, isn't it? No, what is it? They're really pretty. They're just leaves. Here's what they're called. Chisel does add some leaves, which that's one thing that makes me sad about the later versions of Chisel. Like in the 1.10 stuff, it doesn't have those leaves, and I love those leaves. They have the roses and stuff on them. So we'll probably use a lot of those too, but I think, want to use these Mortem leaves as well. So we should have a quest complete. Exploration, we are now 80% through exploration. Mortem, the Dark Territory, they're going to give us 2 stacks of torches and 3 golden apples. This is the last Twilight Dimension. You'll need Mortem blocks to create a nightmare bed. Which nightmare bed requires Mortem blocks, Elevantium, obtained by trading with Datacon in the Dungeon of Arcana, and Acceleron, obtained by trading with Datacon in the Dungeon of Arcana. And that is like the last Twilight Dimension, Divine RPG stuff. After Mortem, there's the Dungeon of Arcana. But I believe that the Arcana portal frame requires, infused brew of the grave, blue fire stones, weighted pressure plates, cobaldite, but it does make 12 at a time, so that's good. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. Once again, in this zone, we're going to fly around, take a look at the mobs, take a look at the ore. What's this guy? Twilight Archer. Okay. And we got the arrow to the knee achievement for getting shot by a Twilight Archer. Alright. Okay. And we captured one too, which is great. Hey, what's these guys? soul stealers. Well, I don't want any part of that, so... Oh, what's that guy? Basilisk. He has an absolute ton of health, too. Oh, man. And there's more of them coming. Man, these basilisks have so much health. It's ridiculous. Alright, there we go. They're finally dead. Aw. Zotar. It's like a baby one. We did get a mob soul for the soul stealer. That's kind of nice to get, honestly. And we got 26 Mortem souls so far. Awesome. And let's see. Which we don't really have to grind up a bunch of these right now, truth be told, because we don't really have... Well, I tell you what. I think Mortem has a weapon, doesn't it? A Mortem blade. 33 melee damage. So we'll definitely want to make that. And I'll probably end up making the armor and stuff like that too. What's this guy? Demon of Darkness. There we go. Still haven't seen any ore growing anywhere. Or setting anywhere. Kobolds. Oh, is that Cadillions? Mortem Cadillions. Strangely enough, I just never found one in Skythorn. I don't know for sure. Honestly, I don't think there is one in Skythorn at this point. So, but you will notice this place doesn't fall into the void. If you notice, once we got to Skythorn, there was less void than there was in Eden. And now there's like no void. It's like just a cave dimension. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh my god, I forgot to mark our entrance portal again. I'm so bad about that. Like, I literally just had that issue, and then I was like, let's go through Mortem. Oh my gosh. I'm terrible. Actually, it looks like there's light on the map right over here. Makes me believe that our portal is here. Awesome. That worked out actually pretty good. I didn't have to go into the footage. So we'll go ahead and mark that as home. And I'm having like a whopping 0 luck finding any ore at all. I may actually have to dig underground, truth be told, to really find much. Because there's not a whole lot of stone peeking through here. Okay, so right there's our portal. So I'm just going to dig into the ground, I do believe. Actually eat. I didn't realize I was just about... I'm out of hunger. What was that noise? Something's behind you. It's never anything, but... Okay, there was like no more stone. I just hit bedrock, so... Where in the world is the Mortem stone? Okay, and bedrock ceilings, so... I don't know, I'm not having any luck finding any, so... Which, that's fine. I mean, if we don't find it... I mean, there is a Mortem ore. You can see right there. But I'm not having any luck at all. We will be able to make these Mortem planks. Alright, let's go ahead and grab just a little bit of the wood. Maybe get some saplings out of here. Would be kind of nice. Okay, I got a Mortem sapling. I need to make a scythe for situations like this. Like with the trees and things like that, it would be a lot better if we had a scythe. Because this, it's terrible. Trying to get a sapling. Okay, so, well, we got one. That's fine. We got some Mortem wood. That's cool. I love those planks, and I do want to use those in some stuff. I'll show you those whenever we get back in the overworld. So there's our portal, and let's pop on over here. And we'll go ahead and add Mortem dirt. Go, and then we'll do, say, Mortem logs, Mortem saplings. Okay. Because I'm probably going to want to auto harvest that stuff. Maybe, we'll see. And then give me, I don't know, 8 Mortem fragments. And we'll go ahead and make a Mortem gem. And then let's go ahead and set up the recipe. Or the recipes. So, if you take a Mortem soul, you're going to get Mortem fragment. If you take Mortem fragments, you're going to get Mortem gems. And then if you take Mortem gems, you'll get a Mortem chunk. So that way that stuff is already putting in. And there we go. And then let's go set up our storage drawers real quick. We're going to say Mortem Fragments, Mortem Gem, Mortem Soul, and then we'll add a chunk a little bit later once we have some more fragments. Okay, now one thing that I do want to do, since we don't really have a whole lot of Mortem Fragments at the moment. No, we don't really have many at all in the grand scheme of things. So we'll go ahead and pop on over here, and we're going to go ahead and add Mortem to the spawner. Because honestly, if I'm going to make a weapon, I'd rather just go ahead and make it out of Mortem. Get him, get him. So we'll just drop that in there. Twilight Archer. Okay, so exploration-wise, we are set. We've explored all of this. Really all we're waiting on now is to get into Witchery. And then we'll do the dungeon from Divine RPG, and we'll do the Witchery Dimension. And then, of course, we still have some Betweenland stuff to do as well. And then later on, we'll get into dimensions and everything. Okay, and really quickly, let's take a look at the Mortem leaves that we got. That's what they look like. I do quite like those a lot. So, yeah, we're probably going to end up using those for some decor, which I'm not too worried about keeping that one, but yeah, we'll definitely have to get a bit more of those. I don't know if I'll set them to farm. Probably won't do the leaves like we have the oak leaves, because I think that's a little bit overkill, but we will do something. Okay, and all this Mortem dirt. I forgot about that. Let me dump all this in here. You know something I just noticed? We never turned this quest in. Ethereal slates. So let's go ahead and do that. 6 dark steel blocks for that. It only required 1 ethereal slate, and we just never, I guess, held one and turned that in, so. Okay, now the next thing that I want to do is I would like to go ahead and start, or get the stuff together so that we can start Agricraft in the near future, which is primarily going to be the seed analyzer and the farming station. We'll also need some clippers, because we really haven't worked on the farming. I mean, farming is only 40%, where all the rest of the stuff in this area, you'll notice 92, 80, 86, 83, 88, 52 already on thaumcraft. Farming we haven't really done a whole lot with, and it is about time that we start getting into a little bit of Agricraft. We're not going to use it too extensively, I don't think, but I will say that we are going to be using it probably for a few certain things, especially things like Magnesio essence, or Magnesio, and then also probably obsidian as well. So I want to go ahead and start that so that we can get 10-10-10 crops before too long, and then get that set up for automation. Start building up surplus stocks of the Magnesio and the obsidian. That's something that, if you recall, I've been mentioning that I want to do that soon, and I think we should start moving into that. So the first thing that we want to get is the seed analyzer. This requires blank slate, glass, looks like any kind, wood, stone slab, ladders. It's really not expensive. And then give me a blank slate, which takes like all of like a second to craft. I just realized we're not using Twilight Stone. We're using Frozen Stone for most everything. So, anyways, there's our seed analyzer. Easy peasy. And I'm also going to want the book, right? There's the journal or whatever, agricultural journal. Crop sticks, give me, I don't know, a stack of those. 4 in there. And then, let's see, what do we got out of this? We've got everything out of this. Brown mushroom spores, carrot seeds, sounds good. There we go. Agricultural journal. And there's not a quest for that. Okay, and then we're also going to want the Agricraft farming station, which is fairly standard. We are going to need one of these. Let's see, logic. So give me a Z-Logic controller. We need to automate the soul creation and use as well with Ender.io fairly soon. Alright, so also going to want a machine chassis. And Arlemite hoe. There we go. There's our farming station. And then for the Agricraft farming station, it's just the same recipe except the farming intelligence module and the Arlemite hoe. Let me get another C logic controller. Farming base modules. They're crafted just like this. We're going to want 8 of these. And farming intelligence module and Agricraft farming station. Oh, oops. It's a machine chassis, not a farming station. Oh well, I've got another one now, and we have uses for that later, so that's not a problem. I don't mind making extras. I really don't. Okay, so Agricraft farming station. Oops. And we'll go ahead and turn that in. We get a dark axe. Okay. Dark axe. There we go. We'll just dump that in there. Cake. We'll dump that in there. And the clippers, I just looked at those a second ago. These require void metal blocks. So they're a little bit expensive. I mean, technically we could craft them, but... oh, we need a Dreamwood staff core, too. That I cannot craft. That's crazy for clippers. But it kind of makes sense. Clippers are a little bit OP. But we will try to work towards that fairly soon, since it is just thaumcraft-related stuff for that. Alright, so now that we've got that, what I would like to do is set up probably right over here-ish, maybe. I don't know. Let me get a couple tesseracts, just to make this a little bit easier for us. And then I'm also going to want some conduits. We'll take these, some item conduits, and I think that's the main thing. And then do we want to get a I don't know, deep storage unit? No, not yet. I won't get a deep storage unit just yet. Let's just grab like a drawer. So give me just, I don't know, oak drawer. This is going to be a very temporary setup because I want to automate getting the crops to a 10-10-10. Okay? Because, you know, as you know, with Agricraft, the crops have stats. They start out as a 1-1-1, and then you have to breed them, make them better. I know in Project Ozone, I was having a lot of fun, you know, just manual breeding. I actually quite enjoyed that personally. But I think in this pack, we're going to automate the breeding. It's going to be completely hands-off, and we're just going to move. We're going to set up an Agricraft station where the crops get moved over, you know, bit by bit, and they get upgraded to a 10-10-10. And then we'll set them into a more permanent location, because we're going to need, I want 10-10-10 at least Minicio, air, water, fire, no, not redstone. Are they not in here as quests? Well, anyways, the other elements, what, fire and earth, I think. Air, water, fire, earth. I want 10-10-10s of those, because we are going to need those. And then the 10-10-10 Minicio, 10-10-10 obsidian would also be nice. And, yeah. I think that's the main thing. I mean, the rest of this is all subject to change, but... I don't know, I feel like if we just set up like a bunch of, you know, say dark steel seeds, it kind of takes out the fun of actually crafting those things. It kind of removes, that's one thing I don't like about magical crops, is it kind of removes the whole point of automating metals, really, because you're just pouring in from the farms. So, unless recipes get really insane, for right now we're going to leave it as manual crafted. One other thing that I might put in there, in time, depending, is Certus seeds. And that's simply because we need so much Certus to make those big storage discs. And I know that we need more of those in the future, so we may do Certus as well. Or we may just wait till we get to RF Tools and make a Certus Dimension. I don't know. For right now, I'm not going to worry about Certus, but I know Obsidian, those other things, I do want those. So, what we're going to need to do, we're going to need to make some modules. We've got, the Tesseracts are probably done. They are. There's 1 and there's 2. And I would also like to make some modules. These are from the Ender.io add-ons. And basically, if you set this down, and you look inside, there is control modules, module storage. Control modules are like your active modules. And then you have some different tabs, which we'll get into in just a minute whenever we go set this up. But basically, control modules affect the way that this Agricraft farming station works. Okay, and impacts what it does and how it handles things depending on what modules are in there. So there's 5 in particular that we're going to need. And let's go ahead and take a look at these. First up, we are going to want the, well, we're going to have to make base modules, right? I think all these take base modules. Yeah. So let's get, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think is probably all we need. I think most of these, the farming intelligence module does require like 8 of them, but I think most of these just require 1. So first up, we're going to want the breeding module. This one's pretty straightforward. Farming base module and a couple crop sticks get you the breeding module. And which these pretty much, I mean, they're pretty much self-explanatory. They do what their title is. This one breeds crops. Okay. And then we are going to want the let's see, seed harvesting module. Any kind of seed, farming base module, diamond hoe. There we go. Seed harvesting module. And then I'm also going to want the seed analyzer module, which requires, a seed analyzer. Okay. And a magnifying glass, so let's get that. Let's get another seed analyzer. So give me 1 blank slate. And actually, I was kind of curious. Does it even talk about this method? It kind of hints at it, I think, but because it says it's a more advanced version of the regular Ender IO farming station. It allows you to use crop sticks, plant Agricraft seeds on crop sticks, as well as do everything else that the regular farming station was capable of. Highly recommend using this machine. Turn your Benicio in 10-10-10, and so on. Okay, so back to modules, and the seed analyzer module. What is it? It's farming intelligence module. Okay, so well, let's take a look and see what the other 2 need. Plant upgrading is the next one that I want. This one right here. This requires a farming intelligence module. And then I also want seed sorting, which requires farming intelligence and seed ejecting. So let me get a hopper. Go and give me, I'm going to need 3 Z-Logic controllers for these last 3 modules. These ones are a little bit more expensive. I guess we could automate modules, but there's not really much point in it. Because honestly, after this farming station, we're probably not going to use control modules anymore. I don't believe. Nothing that comes to mind. Because if you're not doing special things with seeds and sorting them and you know, improving crops, there's not a whole lot of point in the control modules. That's where they mainly shine. So we probably won't worry too much about these after this. So I need 16 more of those. There we go. And farming intelligence modules give me 1, 2, 3 of those. And seed analyzer. There we go. Plant upgrading. Oh, I am missing a magnifying glass. Plant upgrading. There we go. And then seed sorting. We need a magnifying glass as well. There we go. Okay, so all 5 of these modules. And then what else do we need? We got tesseracts, we got item conduits. I think that's most everything. Now, one other thing that I want to get, crop sticks. Did we ever automate these? We did not. So let me make a pattern for crop sticks. Really, really quickly. Just pop that into there. Alright. And then what I want to do is I want to get, let's set up this interface. Or, I mean, this tesseract for starters. And basically what this thing's going to do is it's just going to transmit power and items. I'm not going to worry about sending the items back right now. And that's just because this thing's going to be filled up with crop sticks. And honestly, I want a kind of a controlled environment for this, I think. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to set up our tesseract. And we're going to have it, I'll actually put it like right here. Okay, and we're going to call this, this will be, let's see, that's, okay, I'm going to put this to 5, and we're going to call this, Agricraft, we'll just call it Agricraft 10-10-10, and there we go, that's good. So we'll add frequency, And this is going to be just for handling the Agricraft 10-10-10 stuff. So fluid, I'm going to set that to block that. Item mode is going to be send. Energy is going to be send, receive is fine. Okay. And then what I want to do, let's break this open for right now. And I just want to run a little bit of energy from one tesseract to another. This is send, receive energy. Go ahead. Oops, wrong conduit there. And I just want to kind of run power down along to there like that. And then what I want to do is let's make ourselves an export bus. And I also want a crafting card. And let me get a couple cables. Just a couple Fluix cables. I think just 2 is good. And what I want to do is I want to put the export bus down onto the tesseract. And we're going to say crafting card, export, crop sticks. Okay. And then we'll just plug this up. Bam, bam. And that part is done. That tesseract now is getting crop sticks, or will be able to get crop sticks. Now, right now, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of... I mean, there's no space. They can't go anywhere. So right now, they're just going to kind of hang out. It's not really going to be crafting anything. But once we set this up, we will begin crafting things. Now, the next thing that I want is a hoe with infinite durability. Actually, I'll probably just do a Madoc like what I've got in this one. Because the Supremium hoe, or the Zavisia hoe, doesn't have any impact. It can't be... Actually, I don't think it can be used in the farming stations, but I know that it has no impact on Agricraft-based crops. You have to get 10-10-10 for those to really take effect. And there is Unbreakable Madoc. Okay. And there's actually a couple other ways you can make them unbreakable, but that's just the one I tend to go with. Magical wood and obsidian's cheap. Okay. So we've got that. Let me... Goodbye. There we go. Alright, so let's go see about setting up our Agricraft farming station now. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have this over here in the farming area. Okay. Which I need to come through and like really deck this out a bit more. I don't know where I want this to be permanently. This area still is one of those I need to go to and just start just working for quite a few hours, but we'll set it up like right here for right now, okay? Just Agricraft farming station down right there. Okay, let me go get a bucket. I'm going to want to put some water up here. Now, I don't think I'm going to add any capacitors to this. I think I'm just going to go with the standard size. There's not... I mean, granted, if I added capacitors to it, like a capacitor to it would be a little bit faster. Okay, yeah, let's actually go with like a double layer capacitor. That'll be fine. And then, that should be good for right now. Which we will be speeding this up in just a moment, but we're going to go ahead and get it set up first. I'm losing my direction here. We'll get it set up first, and then we'll speed it up. And I don't think I'm going to use a imaginary time block right now. Probably not for this one at all, truth be told, but some of the later ones we will do those, but not on this one. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to chunk load this with the FTB utilities. I'll just chunk load it with that, I think. Just for simplicity's sake, I don't foresee this chunk getting corrupted, and it's not going to be a lot of stuff in this chunk right now, so it's not a big deal. And I'll tell you what, let me actually drop this ground level by 1. Okay. We'll do like that for right now. And fill that in real quick. So, Agricraft farming station. I want to put this like in the middle of this chunk, if I can. That should be the... Oops. That should be the middle-ish area. So, we'll go ahead and just put that down like right there. Okay. Then let me get a bucket of water, because we are going to want this to have water. Actually, it's going to steal like a bucket of this, because this stuff needs to be cleaned up anyway. Some of this like random flowing water, so that works out. 2 birds with 1 stone. We need to make like one of the blood magic like infinite water things. We will. Okay, and this is going to be kind of ugly right now because I don't have it in like a permanent setup, but we're going to put the Tesseract down just right, no, let me actually bring this up just slightly. Tell you what, we might make a slightly offset farm then. We'll put the water like there. Okay, so we're going to have the, because this is all just temporary anyways. We'll have the Tesseract setting right there. We're going to say Agricraft frequency. There you go. And we're going to say that you can receive items. You block fluids. You send receive energy on that frequency. And then we're going to set this to in and out. Insert on green. We're going to say extract is on brown. Always active. And then another item conduit. We're going to say this one extracts on green. Okay. So if we take a look here, this is getting crop sticks. And this actually has 6 slots for crop sticks. So it's going to be able to store up to 6 stacks of crop sticks. We'll cover this first tab here. Let's go ahead and put our capacitor in there. Double layers, fine. We're going to have a tool that goes in this slot. You know, pretty standard for farming stations. And then we have fertilizer here. Which bone meal, I'm not going to worry about that. Not a whole lot of point in it. Now, aggressively till, you could say it tills every plot of land that won't take crop sticks. Use this for dirt grass and till dirt. But we'll leave that on for right now. But we will get rid of that before too long. And then let's see, we have output here. This is where everything goes that the farming station doesn't need. This is what's going to get output from the farming station. Right here we have seed layout, so you can do, this is really the same as the standard farming station. You have northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, and you have seed storage. You have a lot more seed storage than the standard one. I think the standard one's like 6, or no, 4. Yeah, it's just 4. It's just, you know, up to a stack per slot, depending on your capacitor. Whereas this one stores 12 stacks of seeds. And then we have our control modules. So we're going to go ahead and put in our control modules here. So breeding, seed harvesting, seed analyzer, plant upgrading, and seed sorting. And then let's go ahead and set up some energy conduits. Just pow, pow. And then we're going to give this thing a tool. And it's going to start tilling the ground. And start laying all this out for us. Let's put that there. And it's going to take it a second, but it's going to get everything tilled. And you'll notice there's a pattern to what it's doing. It's planting out the crop sticks for us. And it's planting, you know, every other one has crossbreeding sticks. So, which this water, once we put in the sprinklers, we won't need this water. So just a heads up, but for right now we do need it. I don't think it's going to go any farther out than that, though, is it? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Okay, now while we're waiting, while it's tilling that ground and everything, let's pop over here. And I would like to get a few things. The first of which being, do we have Manesio seeds? Yes. Okay. And let's go ahead. I mean, I guess technically we don't even need the seed analyzer. I'm going to take this over there with me and we'll set it up. But I mean, really with the analyzing thing that's on that, we don't technically need it. It wasn't expensive, so. And then I also want sprinklers. Let's get a few sprinklers. Go ahead and give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, iron bars. There you go. Give me, there's 9 sprinklers. No, I want more than that. Give me more. 2, 3. I can just order, let me just order some buckets. Go ahead and give me, I don't know, 20 buckets. We're going to make way more sprinklers than what we need, but that's fine. And go ahead and give me like another, I don't know, 2 stacks of iron bars. And sprinklers. There we go. There's 29 sprinklers. That's more than enough. But we will use these in later ones too. Like, I'm going to use sprinklers for things that it's not necessary that it be just super over the top, crazy fast. And then we'll use imaginary time blocks for things like obsidian or something later on when in Minicio, whenever we need lots of that stuff. Which actually we'll probably add imaginary time blocks to it in the next few episodes. But maybe between episodes, since we've already covered it. But alright, so 29 of those. And then I'm going to want some sort of water block. Honestly, I'll probably just use a reservoir, which we've actually already got that. And then I'm also going to want the, what's it called? Water tanks. Go ahead and give me just one of those. That's fine. Actually, go ahead and give me like 3 of them. And then we are going to want irrigation channels. Go ahead and give me like 30 of them. I don't know. There's yeah, we'll just go with 60. 60 is good. And then go ahead and give me like 1 more bucket. Or actually, I'll just order 2 buckets with water. So 1 bucket, 2 buckets, Okay. Now we should be all set, I think. I think so. Okay. Oh, and look, it's all tealed. There we go. Okay, so now we have a nice little area for our farming station stuff. It's taking a second to teal that, but basically it has to scan through everything. It does. There it goes. Yeah, starting to teal out the rest of that ground. Okay, and then what I want to do is let's go ahead and add a block there. Actually, I kind of feel like I just want 1 water tank. I can't remember. Can irrigation channels come out the bottom? I don't think. No, they can't. It has to be at the top. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take these wooden irrigation channels. We're just going to run these around the farm. We're going to make basically a net design, more or less. So, because the thing about sprinklers, of course, is that their effect stacks. The more sprinklers you have in an area, you know, the faster growth rate is. So we'll just do just like that. That's perfect. That's fine. Yeah, see, these ones right here actually aren't even getting water from that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our sprinklers, we're going to set these up, we're going to say bam, bam, bam. Then we'll do like, I don't know, corner ones. It doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm worrying about doing a pattern, but I am. Force of habit, so it is what it is. Okay. We'll just place the rest of these down. Okay. So anyways, we got a bunch of sprinklers there. Awesome. And then what I want to do is we're going to take our reservoir. We're just going to set this guy up here. Not pretty at all, but that's fine. Because you can actually make these out of any kind of wood, and they take on the, you know, the colors of the wood, and it's great. We're going to do that once we set up maybe a more permanent spot. But right now I just want to get this running. So we'll put some water in that. Then let's take our wrench, and we'll just right click that. It's going to start feeding water into that. And now, and I do love the way this looks. Look at all that water. And now we can take and fill that in as well. So that part's done. Okay. And that's going to keep all the farm plots irrigated. And it's also going to increase the crop speed of the crops planted on it. So, alright, now what I want to do is I want to come down here, just dig over to this, to that item connection, and we are going to take and put in our first seeds. Okay. So we'll go ahead and say that all of these are Minicio, put that in, and you'll notice that's going to plant our Minicio seeds down. Now, it's going to have to increase these first. You know, there is crossbreeding that we would need to do, but for right now, what we need to do is increase the number of Minicio seeds that we have, because we've only got the 1. Now, technically, if I had clippers, I could do it with that, but I'm not going to make clippers until I automate void metal, because it's just way too involved to manually do that, to even bother. That's 2 void metal blocks. I don't want to make any more void metal. I do not enjoy making void metal. So we'll just let the crops spread with this. And then what it's going to do is once, you know, the crops are laid out, then it's going to use the the plant upgrading module. And so let's say, you know, this all gets filled out. It has a bunch of 111s. And you have Minicio seed planted here, Minicio seed planted here, and here, and here. And these are 111s, right? And they crossbreed and they make, say, let's say, for example, a 233. So suddenly we've got a better crop, right? Well, what it's going to do is it's going to upgrade any of the Minicio crops around. It's going to upgrade those then to, you know, the 233 or whatever's higher. If we have a 111, it's going to upgrade it. Okay. Now here in a second, there we go. It just spread, and it's going to pick these up. It's going to scan them and all that good stuff. I'm here in a minute. Right now, it's scanning through. So we'll give it just a second. It's probably going to break that off here in a minute. There we go. See, it's picking those seeds up because it doesn't know what they are. Like this one, it scanned it. It's a 111. You notice I didn't scan that seed. It scans it on its own. But what it does, it should have just replanted one. There's a 111. So that's what it's doing. It's going through and it's grabbing seeds that it doesn't know what they are. It's scanning them and then it's replanting them. Okay. And it is getting crop sticks as an output. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to route those back around. That's not a problem. Let's see. Let me get a couple things here. I'm going to get seed storage, because it is going to dump extra seeds out that we don't need. So let me get those seed storage block. This is just chest and iron. This is perfect for this type of situation. And then I also want filter, basic item filter. So give me one crop stick. Oh look, we got Minicio seeds. And what I want to do is, if I can get this in focus, right here where the insert is, the green, I'm going to insert on green, and we're going to say you can only insert crop sticks. That's what we're going to do. And then down here, which I'm just going to have all the storage down here. That's fine. But we'll go ahead and set up a seed storage, like right there, so seeds can get stored into this thing. And extract was on brown. So we'll say extract on brown is always active. And then let me get a chest, because we're going to use basically a buffer filtering kind of system. So we'll just get a standard chest. And then let me get, let's see, the chest, the storage drawer. That's perfect. The chest is going to basically handle the crop sticks, because right now we're extracting on brown, we're inserting on green. I don't want to change that over so that we have, you know, all of it be one color or anything like that, because we've got these crop sticks coming through the Tesseract, and in case something else gets plugged in the Tesseract, I'd rather just use a buffer system. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a, let's see, we'll set up our chest right down here. Item conduit on it. We're going to say that you can insert on brown, and then you can extract on green, always active, and we're going to set the insert to a priority of like -5. Okay, so it's the lowest priority, so it's going to prioritize all these other things. This needs to be set to insert on brown, insert extract, low priority, and then I also want to set up an oak drawer right here. This is going to have Minicio. So we'll go ahead and just grab one of those, put that into there, and we'll say that you can insert on brown, and now we have 2 Minicio in there. Okay. And that shouldn't happen again. I think it just took it a second to register the drawer there. Well, actually, I put it and then I had to set it up. So, but yeah, you can see there's every once in a while there's crop sticks that kind of pop into this and then get filtered back around and get dumped back into the Agricraft farming station. Now, one thing that may possibly happen is that the Tesseract sends them faster. But I mean, right now it's actually doing well. Because this thing's constantly going through crop sticks. And the Tesseract, I didn't put any speed upgrades, so it's kind of letting this chest kind of empty itself back out. So I think it's going to work out well. Okay, yeah, you can see we've actually got Minicio seeds right here. 111s, 112, 122. And this thing is already at a 222 that it's spreading. Okay, so if we pop up here and we take a look, well, some of these are 111s, but basically it's going to steadily increase the crop strength. Yeah, see, there's where the 222s are. So it's making those, it's scanning them, it's replacing them. 222 is the best on the field, I think, right now. One thing it doesn't do is it doesn't take those like 122s and replace these 111s over here. But that's not really a big issue. See, it's grabbing those 111s and kind of getting rid of them at this point. They're just getting dumped into the seed storage. So that is perfect. And so basically what this is going to do, we're just going to let this run for, I don't know, a couple hours, few hours, and then we should start seeing some 10-10-10s coming in. And then what we can do is once we start getting 10-10-10s, we can tear that farm down, break it down, basically pull all the seeds out, change over the Minicio, that kind of thing. The drawers, the seed storage is probably going to get just trashed at that point, and then we'll just put another seed storage down. That's fine, it's cheap. Or we'll just plug it up to a trash can and dump it. Because I just want 10-10-10s. And then what we'll do is probably in the next couple episodes we'll get clippers, and then once we get 10-10-10, we can set the 10-10-10s down, and then have a little area where we can spread it, or you know, we can grow it, and then we can just clip it, and actually just one block, and then just, I don't know, bone meal it or something. And we're pretty much golden at that point. I mean, Agricraft, once you get that thing set up, I mean, Agricraft's so simple to move through. It's so simple. One other thing that I did want to go ahead and grab real quick is just some glowstone. Give me just a little bit of that. I mean, I guess technically torches would have worked. Actually, you know what? No. I want... I've got this setting right here. And we'll just kind of light this farm up a little bit. Yeah, you see, you'll start to notice there's not really much in the way of 111s. Now it's 222s, 321s, 222. You know, it's upgrading these across the board. There's a 342 already, 333, and this is all hands off. And from this point on, I mean, it's pretty much a simple process of, you know, once the farm's done, turn this off, break it down, and then just give it a new crop. Okay, just one seed. I don't even need a bunch of seeds. I just need one seed. Drop it in there, and it's going to spread it for us. So, and then we're going to have all kinds of just random seeds everywhere. But, I mean, really, I could filter this and just have it sent into a trash can. That works just as well. I'm just kind of leaving it there, especially this first one. Honestly, after this first one, I probably will just do a trash can now that I think about it. But kind of left that there so that you guys can see what's going on. You know, what's happening to these seeds, basically. And I don't remember, do Minicio seeds... I know in Project Ozone, we had to reuse those. Yeah, we're going to use those to make... we're going to use those to make a few seeds. Earth seeds, fire seeds, so on. So I might actually, I don't know, I might actually hold on to the Minicio seeds. See, it was all on purpose. It was all on purpose. Like, if I was to take one of these, I can use these if they're already scanned? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the Minicio seeds we'll probably hold on to. The rest of them we'll just trash, okay? So that was all on purpose, not an accidental coincidence. Totally lying right there. I was gonna just trash them, honestly, but that'll be okay. But anyways, that is gonna come in quite handy for moving forward with magical crops. I would like to get, you know, like I said, I would like to get Minicio and Obsidian 10-10-10 seeds fairly quickly, get those set up in permanent farming locations, and then probably the elemental seeds. The elemental seeds, we really don't need a ton of them. I mean, we need, you know, a few hundreds or a few thousand, but it's not nearly to the point of the Minicio and the Obsidian. Those things, we need like billions of those things. So I would like to go ahead and get that stuff up and going right now. So I feel like the capacitor on this is actually just a bit too fast, or a bit too big, because it's not really keeping up at all. But it's whatever. I don't even care. Because this is all just automatic, and it takes barely any power at all. And that's it. I mean, and some wood. But wood is automatic and free, so not really a big concern. And I mean, I guess on the plus side, how much Magnesio do we have, out of curiosity? 203 right now. So it's not crazy fast. Not as fast as once we get our 10-10-10 set up. How fast that's going to be, but anyways, I am going to end out this episode here because I know it's about wrapping up point. Next episode, like I said, we'll get into a bit more thaumcraft. I just kind of wanted to finish up a speed build that I was working on over there and whatnot. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys have any questions, as always, let me know and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. And I know I'm a little bit behind on comments. I'm working on that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. I hope to see you guys next time. And until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.